Welcome back, everybody, to Talking More Sports. Been a minute. We've been busy with life and things, but that does not mean we did not devoutly watch the two finals games that we've had so far. So, in case you missed it, brief summary. Game one was neck and neck. Third quarter, the Warriors blew the Celtics out of the water. And then the fourth quarter, the Celtics came back and slaughtered the Warriors. My uncle really loved it. In Lives in Oakdale, California. Big Warriors fan. And then game two was like the exact opposite. First two quarters, neck and neck, and then the Celtics didn't show up. They didn't come out of the locker room. And the Warriors won by 19. So, Blake, I know we didn't post it, but we had talked about our predictions, and we both kind of thought Warriors in 6 before any of the games had started. Give me your thoughts on these first two games and what you think is going to happen now.
Well, I think our prediction is still valid because the series is tied. So I feel like it's not a late prediction. It's still valid because it's not like the Warriors are up 2-0 or something. So, yeah, both of our predictions, Warriors in 6. And
I'm giving you an opportunity to change it now. If you think the Warriors are going to just gentleman sweep now, or the Celtics will come back and win, this is the time to
change it.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Warriors in 6. And what was even the question? I can't even remember what you asked.
ADHD. Literally. It was just, what did you think about the first two games? Did you even watch the first two games?
Well, I watched both, not very intently, but I mean, the first game I was watching at a restaurant, so that tells you how close I was paying attention.
Hey, that's how it used to be done.
Exactly. No, but I think it could honestly go 7 because I think it's going to be kind of like the Celtics Heat series was, where it's just like back and forth every other game. That's how it's going to go. And it really all depends on Jason Tatum, I think. Like, if he has to play amazing in order for them to beat the Warriors. But I don't think it goes both ways with like Steph Curry having to play amazing for the Warriors to win. I just think because of the Warriors' depth and how experienced they are and they're finals veterans through and through, that they can just play as a team. If Steph plays great, that's great. But if he doesn't, then I think they can still pull it out. But as far as the Celtics, I think Jason Tatum has to prove that he's one of the best players in the NBA, or they might get gentlemen swept. Who knows? Yeah, that's kind of my reaction.
It's an interesting thought. I like what you said, except I pretty much disagree with everything you said. Because the first game, the Celtics won, right? And Jason Tatum played horribly. He had 12 points. Or no, he had 13 points. Granted, he had 12 assists.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Which is solid Chris Paul numbers. But
yeah,
he shot 17% in that game one. And then game two, he upped it to 42%, but he had 28 points. He was the team's top scorer, and the team lost.
But he had
I'm not saying
8 turnovers or something.
He had 4 turnovers.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. In game one, he had 2 turnovers. So, yeah. Oh no, I was right. It was 12 points, 13 assists. I switched it. So
yeah,
Chris Paul numbers. But yeah, he shot 17% in game one, 42% in game two. So Jason Tatum has to contribute to offense, but I think what's so interesting about these two, this is my takeaway. Now onto my side. This is that both teams can be phenomenal. Like at their peak, they look like the best team in the league, like hands down. They're head and shoulders above everyone. But then at their worst, you're like, how did they get here? Like, because like game one, right? The Celtics as a team were phenomenal. I mean, Jason Tatum didn't play great, but Jaylen Brown had 24 points. Al Horford had 26 points. Marcus Smart had 18 points, right?
Yeah.
And they collectively won the game. Whereas for the Warriors, game one, Steph had 34 points, and then Andrew Wiggins had 20, Clay had 15, and that was the only guys in double figures.
Yeah.
Compared to game two, where everybody on the Warriors seemed to step up, and the Celtics all kind of struggled.
Yeah.
So I think we have seen in both series, because what you mentioned with the Heat and the with the Heat and Celtics series, it went 7, and sometimes it was like, how did the Celtics not win in 5
Yeah,
kind of a
exactly.
thing. But then with the Warriors, right? I mean, I feel like the Warriors have kind of had one of the easiest paths to the finals, not taking anything away from their accomplishments, but their biggest challenge was the Grizzlies, and then Ja Morant got injured.
Yeah,
But even in
exactly.
that series, they got blown out by 50,
I
I think,
know.
in game 5. So they have proven that they can still, that they can fall apart too. So
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting series because both teams seem to just like completely fall apart in like every other game, it seems like they'll have an amazing game and then a terrible game, and then an amazing game and a terrible game. Like the Warriors against the Grizzlies, they would play great and then blown out by 50. Celtics with the Heat, it was back and forth every other game. They were like on and off, on and off.
well, and you even look in this series, the fourth quarter, I think the Warriors scored, what was it, 11 points or
In game,
something in game one.
yeah, I think
And
so.
then game two, the Celtics scored 14 points
The third,
in the third quarter. So
yeah,
they'll have just one quarter where they fall apart, and then the other team basically seals the victory
yeah.
there. So yeah. But I think, and I thought about this for a while, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm sorry to my Oakdale cousins, but I think I'm going to change my pick, and I think the Celtics are going to win this in 7.
Really.
And this is why. So the Warriors were undefeated at home this postseason until game 1, and the Celtics won. The Celtics have only lost 3 road games the whole playoffs. And
Wow.
then they've lost, I think 3 at home because they've had 6 losses, 7 losses now. So, yeah. Anyways, so the Celtics are a great road team, and I think that is huge when you're facing the Warriors. Because if you look at since Steve Kerr took over as the head coach, he's lost 2 playoff series. Right in 2019, everyone was injured, so
Yeah.
we're not going to hold that against. And then 2016 was against the greatest basketball player of all time at the peak of his powers. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold that against him. But if you look, they lost 2 home games in a row in games 5 and 7, right?
Yeah.
So being able to beat Golden State at home, I think, is so vital and pivotal because Golden State has won a road game in every one of their playoff series for I don't know how long, but they have the record.
Yeah. Isn't it like 25 straight series or something? It's
It's
something
it's
crazy.
something ridiculous like that. And so I'm going to assume that going out, going back to Boston, I think the Warriors are going to win a game, and then the Celtics are going to win a game in
Yeah.
Boston. And then it's 2-2. And then I think the Celtics can either win one or both road games in Golden State, or they'll win a road game in Golden State and then one in Boston. So
All right.
that's
Well,
that's
I
how
hope
I come to
that.
that conclusion. And I know Boston's going to let me down now because I picked them to win, and every time
Yeah.
I've done it, but
Yeah.
I'm I'm changing sides, and I'm wearing green today, so I'm
You're
gonna
just a
stand with it
traitor.
and apologize to my Oakdale family. Also, I've just been rooting for against the Warriors for so long. Like,
That's true. That is true.